literally am live. Wow. Like, hi guys.
I'm not late.
You were about 18 seconds late. So this one literally just got here. Last week you're like, where's the link? And this week you're like coming in last because he forgot to print his notes. Should have used the iPad for notes again, like last week.
I should have.
Dork. That way you can also see interactively. What's going on, guys? It's the Sunday live stream thingy that we do. The thing we don't call a podcast, but is definitely a podcast by definition. And of course, we're going to be going over episode 16 of ReRISE here in a little bit. I see people's in the chat. I got Arturo J. Briano, Totally Not Marlin, Plasmarks, Hida. When watching the stream, be sure to watch away from the TV and in a well-lit room. I don't understand that, but okay. He's worried that there wouldn't be a stream.
The old PSA thing that anime used to put in front of episodes after Pokemon put a whole bunch of people in the hospital.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know why he said he was worried there wouldn't be a stream. Is it because I put up the post really late because someone took forever to give me thumbnail pictures? For somebody who had his notes done at 10 a.m., the rest of the day seemed to go really slowly. All right, Ben R. Carlos O. Perez, hello. Just remember the stream just in time. Apparently everybody's running late today, so oh well. Except for me. I had an hour or so break.
Turn the volume up.
Notes. Yeah, notes are taking significantly longer now that I'm including screenshots. So what used to be like an hour-and-a-half process turns into like a 3.5-hour process. I think it was 5 hours last week. It was like ridiculous. Adam Knight, good morning. That's weird. I get so many people who watch. Yeah, we get so many people who watch from the other side of the world. Ooh, turn me down just a little bit. I'm hearing myself. Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, probably. Okay. So, I'm just not otaku. Watashi wa dai otaku. Whatever. Not just otaku is what he meant. Okay. Watashi wa dai otaku. Anyways, screenshots are awesome though. Thanks for all the extra effort. Yeah. People better appreciate it. It takes a while. And there's certain shots where I'm literally like, trying to get the right screenshot. There's a few times where you'll see as I go through it, where I just didn't care that I had to pause to get the shot I wanted. So you'll see all the extra crap. But for the good shots, I didn't do that. So we'll be going over a lot of things. There are some slight theories that have come up this episode. We'll just see what happens because a lot happened. But before we get there, let's talk about the week that has gone by. So go sub to the Rodimus so you can see all of his stuff as it comes in new. Link is in the description down below. Also, MS100 contest, guys. I'm going to be doing a video probably tomorrow after Master Grade Monday to talk about it because we're down literally to the last month. And if you haven't heard about the contest, you need to get on it. So go ahead, talk about what came out on your channel this week.
Let's see. And I actually wrote it down on my notes.
I saw that.
So I had, on Monday, I had a review on the Gabaldi Beta, or however that tech is supposed to be pronounced.
Beta. Gabaldi Beta.
Whatever. That one.
Did you spell it right?
I double checked because
Yeah,
I actually, part of the reason it took a while for me to get the video out was because I was in the process of uploading it, and then I looked at the, I looked at like my thumbnail. I was like, wait a minute, that's spelled wrong. Wait, did I spell it wrong in the intro? And I was like, son of a, okay, canceling that. Yeah. Typing re-export.
Yeah. It happens.
So that came out, and not very many people liked it. And
how dare
then
you.
On Friday, I had a video for the 10th anniversary version of Cheetor, and not very many people have liked that one, but that's not super surprising. Plus, I didn't really advertise that one much because just the past few days have been kind of crazy.
Yeah, it happens. Guys, go watch the Cheetor review. He talks about the guts gun.
What's that?
The guts gun. That's what they call it. I am sad that you didn't show off the water gun usage. You literally could have gone to the bathroom, filmed it, and showed it working.
That was going to make a big mess, and I wasn't about to do that.
It's not a big mess. It squirts a little bit of water.
I was not about to squirt water all over my set.
I said go to the bathroom and do it. Be in the sink. Like, you wouldn't have to make a mess. Be willing to go remote. Anyways, so guys, over on my channel, I had an In the Kitchen with Shoki that went up. I had a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of you guys seem pretty interested in the things that came in. After that, on the second channel was a video that almost nobody has gone to watch, and that is another Naruto statue. In fact, it's a little itty-bitty Naruto doing the Rasengan. So if you want to watch that video, go over to the secondary channel and watch that. It's a cool thing. I have more of those coming up, actually. And then on Thursday, we had the Earthrise Wheeljack, which apparently a lot of people wanted to watch. Well, in comparison to like Cliff Jumper, nobody gives a shit about Cliff Jumper, apparently. And then, of course, the Axe Zaku review was on Friday, which far more people have watched that than have watched his Cavaldi Beta review, and that's kind of sad. But now, let's just talk about that, because you were talking about how nobody liked that or watched that video. Now, I don't know your exact number on it, but in comparison, so when I put mine up in the first series of Build Divers, because it came out right after the Rebake did. Since then, which has probably been a year and a half or so, that video has only gotten 400 views. And back then, I think I had like 3,000 subscribers or something like that. So I don't know what your numbers are, but comparatively, it's probably about the same percentage of views to subscribers.
Possibly. I don't think it even broke 20 views.
I think people really just don't like that kit, or they spell it wrong when searching for it and then just give up.
That's a possibility. Maybe I should have put the incorrect spelling in the search tag.
Put it Gabaldi instead of Galbaldi.
Or put Garibaldi and just get people who are searching for B5 stuff.
There you go. But what's funny about that, and I even told you this, so my numbers on the Act Zaku are only like 40 views shy of a review from a year and a half ago. Normally, there's a cumulative watch effort over time. But I think that thing, even in the first year, didn't do like 120 views. So, I mean, like, I think people just weren't interested in that kit. I know a lot of people were kind of critical of it for some reason. I don't even know.
That's weird, because I thought it was a good kit.
I thought it was pretty
build,
good.
Interesting design, interesting setup.
Someone didn't mute my phone.
I should probably do that.
Ryan Walters likes the Axaku. Lindell Rodriguez, hello. Ryan Walters, also hello. Plus, it's Cheetor. Yes, go watch his, what are you calling your Beast Wars
Backtrack.
Backtrack, that's right. So go watch that. He actually put a little bit of effort into this review series, and it shows. I watched Cheetor. I didn't watch Waspinator yet. So, but coming up on the channel this week, we do have a return to Master Grade Monday tomorrow, at least an unboxing. And then after that, on Tuesday, there will also be another In the Kitchen video. It's a bit longer because I got a lot more stuff in, including a box, from a friend. Wednesday, I'm not entirely certain what that's going to be just yet, but I also have some Beast Box reviews coming up, and then a review of something that I wasn't entirely happy with on Friday. So I still have to edit that review, and I get to listen to myself be depressed about it again. It's like it's hard enough filming something that you feel like it sucks, but then you have to edit it and watch yourself talk about it, how much it sucks. So look forward to that, guys, because a lot of you probably, well, actually, if you guys have watched stuff recently, you'll know what it is. So without further ado, we've got 15 people watching. Hello, people. Don't forget to say hi in the chat. I saw Jack of Blades. I saw you there.
Hello, future people who watch this after we're done.
You got to clear your throat, too. So well, let's not do further ado just yet. But like, I finally have enough energy to function, and it's like 8 o'clock at night. Yesterday, as usual, I know I say this every Sunday. Yesterday sucked ass. Work was horrible. Um, and I was just dead tired. I fell asleep on the couch like early last night.
Oh
Like
man.
like Eric came over yesterday. We did sort of a early birthday deal for him, which was unexpected. So I guess his birthday's coming up very soon. And he also brought over his MS-100 build to take pictures of it because
Like he said.
he literally said he could not take good enough pictures at home, and I believe him because after inspecting it, I found a few things that I had to point out to him. So now, full whatever disclosure here. I did not take photos for him. He took photos, or his other friend that came with him took photos. I just instructed them on how to take photos on my background because they weren't sure how to change their exposure rate and everything on their camera to make it look right. So I give them a minor tip on how to properly take the photos and then let them do what they're going to do. So, and then there will be a builder showcase on it in the future, but like the laziest builder showcase that I can manage by literally just showing off pictures and talking about it because I was too tired to do a proper review of it. So it's that. Work sucks. I know. That's funny. I have nothing better to do. Optimus FJ Studio. Hello. Colony drop that like button. That's weird. The like button did
Drop
nothing
a
wrong.
colony on that like button.
That sounds a lot better. Neo's Convoy. Haven't seen you in a while. Finally got around to building my Garibaldi, and I had sitting for a year. It's pretty good. The elbows are weird though. The elbows are weird actually. There. Speaking of Eric, there he is. We're up to 20 people watching. Let's see if we can break last week's record. I think we at like highest. I think we had 27 or 28 people watching. So
nice.
We always got to give at least the first 20 minutes to let people build up before we get started on the episode. And I think we broke the record on how many screenshots I got because I think I'm at 40. What did I tell you? 47. Oh, speaking of which, how about I get that ready? I knew I forgot to do something. Please wait. I'm drinking a lovely beer.
Should I mention what I have coming up on my channel?
You should.
Okay, so Monday I should have my I finally have an update on my MS-100 contest entry. It's been a couple weeks since I last talked about that thing, and I finally had time to sit down and do some work on it. So got that coming up, and then Friday should be the 10th anniversary version of Rat Trap.
Yeah,
I just finished filming that one today.
Nice. Okay, so share screen. It always takes a second. Sounds something Captain Xeon would do. Drop colony on the like button. Yeah. Just got to drop colony attack. Okay. Now,
Specifically, that was access.
Oh, that's right. He did drop access, not colony. Y'all saw nothing. There was nothing on the screen just now.
See what?
Exactly. See what where. See where. I just built my first 30-minute missions kit. I'm hooked. I also bought the DXRGEVA Unit 1. Cool. Yeah, I do have some 30-minute missions kits that I'll be working on sometime soon, but I've got Master Grade to build.
I'm seriously thinking about picking up that what is it? The Alto with the Alto flight version or something like that, Navy.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. They got a bunch of the flight types coming.
And I also want to pick up the want to get that one, and I eventually want to get the one that has like the tank treads.
That's the one I got. That's the ground type.
Customize those as oh, nice.
Yeah.
I want to customize those as the characters from my comic.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I had to get the burp out.
And you are coming Your voice is way desynced.
That's on your end then.
Yep.
It might be you.
Yeah, it's probably me. Not
See,
on Wi-Fi though.
Yeah, see, it's weird that you're kind of normal. I don't think anything's going.
I have no idea.
Oh well. Proceed like nothing's wrong. If it starts going wonky, it doesn't matter. We'll have pictures up to look at, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's start the episode. So, guys, episode 16, To the Heavenly Land. Oh. So where we left off last week was Par and Freddie having to jump into some makeshift thing that good old Muran was saying, "Hey kids, I need you to go for a ride." So this episode starts out in the aftermath of that, where we get Par and Freddie in the clouds in, I don't even know if you can call it a balloon, technically speaking. I don't even know what you would really call this, because it's...
I don't know, but the design for it is absolutely fascinating. I really love it because I mean, as weird as it seems, it feels like a lot of thought went into how this thing operates.
Yeah. Well, the fact that they're using their normal lanterns to fill up basically like a parachute,
yeah,
and that's causing enough lift for them to actually take off is weird, because the lanterns are like sealed, but they're also not like, we saw them kind of balloon out before, but these literally look like balloons trapped in a blanket. So they're like super high up. Hold on, I gotta pull up my notes so I can see what the hell's going on. There we go. So yeah, they're way up in the clouds. It's awesome.
And Freddie is not having any of it.
No, he is freaking out. But one thing, so we're talking about the design of the thing. One thing I find interesting about it is they actually built in a sail. Like, so they actually can travel forward, as a matter of speaking.
Right?
But then also they built in either rudders,
and you can
or
see where there's lines that
what?
It looks to me like controls, like on a sailing ship or something, or like tightening the sail, maybe angling it kind of like a kite or something like that, so that you can change direction.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of, is that it's for steering purposes, and we see that a little bit because there's like almost like 2x4s with handles on the sides, and like there's two on one side, one on the other, and then Par is definitely controlling this thing to some degree, but you can see there's like 3 ropes going up to the sail, so I'm guessing that's what doing it. So they pull one side down, I guess, and that makes it go. You sort of see him steer it, but other times not really. My bet is that Eldora is smaller than Earth, thus less gravity. I don't know. I think it's probably about the same size.
Yeah, because we would see them jumping all over the place if they had less.
Yeah, the way they jump, there's the gravity seems very normal, but given there's also some mystic things happening to some degree, I don't think it has anything to do with less gravity, but the fact that Muran even had the forethought, he's like, you guys are probably way less than me combined, so it'll be easier for you to get up there than me. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. But they're up really damn high, and of course Freddie gets worried. Par tries to relieve him, saying, "Is like, look, there's no sense in being afraid and just doing nothing. Plus, Valkylander's with them." It's like, Valkylander is with us. Or did he say Valkylander or Morgiana? Oh, he literally says Valkylander. It's in my fucking screenshot. Which is cool that he's still carrying that around. And so you can actually see 2 of the steering rods right there behind him, so that's interesting. But I also thought that maybe they were literally like rudders, like they're actually like sticking out the side to help it steer one way or another, because air is just another liquid.
You're right, yeah, because it did have something that stuck out about a foot or something like that from the basket.
Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like. And then like they turn around and realize that they're heading straight into this giant thundercloud, like we saw last, in the last teaser. And the wind really like picks up almost like a kind of an updraft, heading towards it. So like they even were talking about how easy it was for them to like fly. Like they didn't think it'd be that crazy. It's like, yeah, the updraft just happened and we went. It was like, so yeah, it's like there's almost like a built-in air path to this thing, or to the island that they're heading to. Fluffy tails might be aerodynamic. I don't know about that. Are they steering rods or please, oh please, I don't want to die rods? Probably.
The answer is yes.
Yes. And then we go right into the intro. So that's our cold open. Now, I wanted to point out something out of this intro that I noticed going back, because you pointed out a thing to me first, and that was just that the Tertium doesn't have any of the Seltsam arms weaponry in the intro. It's using like basic guns, if that. Which I don't know if that means anything, because
yeah, it's just using one of its main beam rifles.
Yeah, but in going to look at that, I ended up finding this that I found was really interesting. So we actually see Alus, but surrounded by green, and then as this scene progresses, it turns to pink, and then he opens his eye, and then it progresses into the rest of the thing. But I didn't catch this the first time around. I'm sure it was there, but I didn't catch it because I usually skip the intro. But I think it goes along with saying that I believe Alus was corrupted by something, whether it was being left on too long or being, connected into GBN by chance. If Par has a wooden dragon with him, does that mean that it gets translated back into GBN? No, I believe that's probably just an item that they keep within the map, so to speak. Like, I don't think they bring everything back with them.
That is an interesting question, though. They haven't directly addressed anything like that.
Yeah, because they haven't gained any items to take back with them. Because even when they got the Darkhawk amulet, I don't believe they ever interacted with it outside of Eldora.
No, I think they talked about it, but you never see them look at it in like the big lobby area or something like that.
Yeah,
I think all the items say that they couldn't.
It probably just goes into their item inventory, and
that's what I would think.
Yeah, because outside of the level that it's useful for, I don't think they would bother having it. And guys, once again, try not to talk ahead. We go through this chronologically through the episode. Just saying. Why would you skip the intro? Because I'm taking notes. Usually the intro doesn't matter. Though we have been keeping an eye on intros and outros because occasionally they alter things as the series progresses. Like not just changing the actual intro and outro, but occasionally inserting changes. Like, oh, but you never know. So that was just an interesting thing that I pointed out. Doesn't necessarily mean anything yet, but it kind of goes hand in hand with me talking about how Alus probably got corrupted at one point. But once the episode starts, we actually jump to the Southern Air Temple. No, wait. But it is the Southern Temple for sure, and we see it really in a wreck. Also, this was in the teaser from last week as well. And Kazumi and Maya have entered it. Would that be their Mayan ruins then? Could we just call it that? No? Okay.
No.
So they talk about, it's pretty much wiped out. The paths are destroyed. There's no sand. Shut up. And then Kazumi basically chooses this time to tell Maya everything because he couldn't get it out while she was driving last time, which, by the way, you guys seem to really like my remixes last week that I put out.
Those were great.
Yeah, that was some fun editing tricks there. Especially the second one. I've actually flipped things and changed stuff. Either way. But how he tells her, like, look, I thought this was all a game. Really didn't think any of this was real. And then I would just say whatever the hell I felt like. But now thinking about it, probably hurt a lot of you with that. And then it's probably very likely that the stupid shit he said got them all attacked and people killed. And that he's actually, really sorry and actually, like, like literally says really sorry, apologizes to her, and like he's really growing. Like it's not that he was ever a bad guy, but when he thought it was just a game, he definitely acted a certain way.
But yeah, this really shows some nice character growth for Kazumi. And it's greatly appreciated because I enjoy his character sometimes, but he can get a little grating when it seems like he's not
a little
picking up on things.
A little.
I'm more forgiving than you.
He's a jackass, but he was a jackass because yeah. Go ahead.
But seeing him like not only like apologize, but go on for the full bow, which is a big deal in Japan, and even admitting that it's his fault that Seguri, or however it was pronounced, got destroyed.
Yeah.
And so that's huge, I think.
Yeah. I don't know about most developed. Yeah, I don't know about most developed, but most changed. We'll just say that. Most different from where he started. But Maya, being the very level-headed person that she is, tells him, look, there's no reason for you to apologize. You guys literally did everything you could to protect us. And Freddie's already told us everything. So, like, duh, they had like a month or something before they got back to where Freddie had time to tell them everything that happened up on the moon, you know? But also, you know, they still don't have... The Eldoran people don't really have a concept of what they are in their way to coming there. They just believe they're like these sacred creator people, so to speak, and that the people of Gunpla, as they keep calling them,
semi-divine beings of some sort.
Something like that, or they're sent by the creators or protectors or whatever. But I love her reply. It's like, to the fact she says, look, don't do something you aren't used to. Like literally, like, look, you're not used to being humble and apologizing for your actions, so don't do it. It's just not you. It's not in your personality to do that. And like, to me, it's like, that was a sick burn. Like, don't do something you're not used to. I think it was a few days. No, I think it was a bit longer than that, but either way. I don't think they ever addressed exactly how long it was, but it was a while. But like he said, look, you're so strong. You know, you can even smile at a time like this. And she says, look, I'm not strong at all. With Jed and Stola gone and the village wrecked, that she's scared and as sad as, well, everyone else. And then she just breaks down and like starts bawling, like falling to her knees, crying. Yeah. And like he actually goes to reach for her and try to comfort her and then stops himself. And like, I think at some point, like some of you probably thought, like I did initially, that it was like he had that pause, like, oh, this isn't real, like for a second, like in his head. But I'm watching it again and went, oh, he's actually listening to her. Like, it's like, wait, I suck at comforting people, so I'm not going to try.
Yeah,
I'm just going to stand here and let her like cry.
He wants to help her, but he doesn't know exactly what to do. So the best thing to do is basically just stand there, let her cry, and just be ready if she needs comfort or something, or asks for comfort.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, she is tough and she does want comfort. However, he probably doesn't even know the best way to pull that off. Plus, he's also scared of his own feelings of her. So it's like they actually have developed him deep enough that you can see these things. It's no longer surface level bullshit with him. So, I mean, I appreciate that. And like he's saying, like, I like Osmi, he's not that great a fighter, but he organized his team, sort of. He does. He is the leader, as he keeps saying. But the fact they're slowly developing him instead of resolving his issues in one episode. Well, no, they did that. They did the 2-episode flip-flop. showed why he is the way he is and then fixed it the next episode, except that they are evolving him further because they have the time to do so. That and the Japanese don't do the touching thing. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but he's weird in and of his own right. So, I mean, like, also, how does he know if they like that? You know, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And just then, of course, Hiruto and Mei arrive to kill the mood.
Yeah.
In this case, it might be okay, but you know, just let things happen. He goes to comfort her, and then we go back to that one screenshot from last week. Anyways, and then
no,
and then from out of the bushes after they land, come some random villagers attacking with rakes and hoes and stuff. I don't know what they had. And they think they're One Eyes because I assume they saw them fly over and then land and then followed it to there. And surprisingly, these are actually more doggy people, mostly.
more puppy people.
Yeah, more actual puppy people. You know, as we discussed before, there's like mixtures of different, you know, furry creatures involved here. But they're like, what are you, you know, trespassing on sacred ground, all this stuff. And then, hey, look, those aren't One Eyes. Those are build divers. Look, Stola's alive. Yeah, we kind of knew that, but they really were drawing it out. You got to think, we're 3 episodes deep before they show that he's actually alive. So, I mean,
I could have sworn that they showed him like get up from the wreck or something like that when it happened.
I don't believe so. I think when their car gets blown over by the shockwave, that's it. And yeah, the other
I just
villagers.
Figured, it's like I guess I saw the car upside down. I was like, oh yeah, he's probably alive.
Yeah, but the
it didn't explode violently.
Yeah, if it didn't explode, nobody died. Next few episodes, just get together already. They got better things to do. Other villagers haven't seen Gunpla. Yeah, it is true that they haven't been everywhere, especially probably this far south. So other villages wouldn't know what the Gunpla are. Anybody, I mean, they only really went as far as the Silver Tower outside of the main village area. So, you know, that's not near any of wherever these villages are everywhere seemingly. So, it is what it is. But of course, you know, Stola being alive, and then we find out in a little bit that the other idiots are also alive. But they're all so shocked to see him because nobody thought he was alive. It's clear, like I said, it's been a while. And they had no way to know that he was alive at all. So she even tackles him. And, you know, cries on him. So still in that same mood, she cries on him. And like, he's actually a little bit more chill than I thought he would have been.
It does feel like he's done a little bit of growing up between now and then.
I swear the writers forgot about him. No, they didn't forget. He's going to be important eventually. You still have to turn on them at some point. Maybe. I don't know. Jed's not around now, so he's like the leader of whatever. But anyways, so back to the storm where things are happening. And we get
no time for the heartwarming scene now.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just be honest. I don't think there's probably a more terrifying thing than being stuck in a giant storming rain cloud in a hot air balloon that's been strapped together by some guy who definitely isn't telling you the truth about anything.
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on. Like, the fact this thing is still intact at this point is pretty impressive. And then on top of that, they get to dodge like these air bullets coming at them, for lack of a better term.
It's like something out of a video game.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, from this angle, you actually see the steering things. Look, I forgot about this. Wider angle, you can actually see.
That's why it's sticking out.
Yeah, so they can. The front is just an anchor, and then they can control the back too. Cool.
It's like those two-handled kite things.
Yeah.
Kite.
Now, to me, I gotta wonder what's holding it in front of the rest of the balloon. I wonder if that would wondering if that would really work, or it would create a weird low pressure zone. I don't know. I want to see if it would actually fly that way.
It's a design that looks super thought out.
It does look super thought out. And by the way, these attacks look very deliberate. Like they're directly at it. Like here comes one bubble, just like, and then like they manage to dodge that, and it looks like a video game. You're like, ah, go left, go left. Literally, like
10 points.
at one point. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then they managed to dodge like 3 of them, and they like just take their breath for a second. They're like, "Whew, that's over." And then just sudden updraft just completely upends the entire balloon. It's like,
yeah, they flip right over.
Yeah, they
Killing
flip
them all.
over it.
Roll credits.
Everybody dies. Roll credits. And then the impossible happens. They go from being under the balloons or the lanterns to being above them. You can do the math on that.
They got flipped upside down.
No, they didn't. They got flipped until they fell out. Everything else, you can see in the next scene, it goes up. These things are still lifting, technically speaking. So they go up, they fall out, the whole thing comes apart. And then the next scene, they're looking down at the lanterns that would still be going up. Yeah, we'll just do the math on that. I think they wrote themselves into a corner on that one. But either way. So Freddie manages to grab the string of one lantern as he's going down, manages to reach out and grab Par, who's also falling, and he pulls him in. Gee, I wonder which lantern that might be. And then, did I get a, hold on. No, I didn't get a screenshot. Then I literally wrote, some dick-ass lightning strikes the remnant of the balloon to just sets it on fire. It's like, wow. It's like, that was
just
deliberate.
To add insult to injury. They look over and say,
it's literally just burns off into nothing, like instantly. Like, well,
and it's not even like an impressive explosion or something, if I remember correctly. It's just sort of
nope. It's just fire and gone. And then dramatic eye opening is dramatic. It's dragon. Yeah, it looks like Digimon attacks. Yeah, there's some things about this whole section that's very Digimon. I really hope Stola won't be the Saji crossroad of the show. Kazumi alone already caused a lot of people to get killed. Stola is going to fuck up even worse. The only hot air came out of Moran's mouth. Yep. Oh, yeah. It's possible that Stola doesn't know that Jet is dead, but I think he could make an assumption considering how close they were to Segri when it got destroyed. But yeah, dramatic eye reveal that we already got already. But if you notice about this eye, what do you notice about it?
It's multicolored weird. It's almost like there's the pupil, a white area, then the color, then another white area.
Yes.
But it could also be that like the pupil has been blinded, maybe?
I don't think it's that.
The circles also make me think of how some SD Gundams are done with their eyes.
There's that as well. But I was mostly getting at the multiple concentric circles in the eye. Much like another eye we already know of.
And the letter I in the Eldoran alphabet.
We're not going there. We weren't going there. Anyways, so they hold on to this lantern for dear life as they're falling and falling and falling. And it's splat on the ground 7,000 feet below.
Roll credits. It's gruesome.
Yeah, exactly. Or the clouds just go whoop, and they land softly on some grass. That's what happened. So yeah, they land on Milag. Yay! Everything's fine. I thought it was funny. They land and then they roll for a bit. Like as soon as they hit. So he managed to hold on to the balloon while rolling. Once again, we just
it was like wrapped around his finger a little bit.
Yeah, just his finger, not his whole body, mind you. Physics.
Which there's some Japanese symbolism a little bit with that, though it's like the thread of fate and stuff like that.
I think it's all about quantum entanglement, which actually makes a lot of sense. But they celebrate that, yay, we made it, and we're on Milag, yay. And then Freddie looks up, and of course he sees that the balloon that saved them, so to speak, is Jed's balloon or lantern.
My heart breaks a little with this.
Yeah, so it slips off his finger and then slowly drifts off into the sky. As they look up at it, and the music gets all sad and dramatic and shit.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Symbolism.
Also, this feels a whole
Got
lot
phlegm.
like Castle in the Sky.
I wouldn't know. But yes, I would agree. The rolling was adorable. No, it wasn't. It was pointless.
Something I love in this scene is when they're celebrating that they arrived safely. You
Yeah,
can see both of their tails wagging.
that's weird.
It's adorable.
It's weird. It's weird. So, back to the south. Like, just that's over with. Let's move on. And then we get the two morons who I actually caught their names on screen, so we no longer have to call them the two morons.
You're still
Mr.
going to call them
Calico.
the two morons. Who are you
Probably.
kidding?
I'm not gonna. So a guy is a dog is named Calico, right? And Zabun. So yeah, these guys are alive too. They were the ones who were with Stola. We already knew that. So Stola's alive. It'd be pretty shitty if they died. But then like you find out like, hey, we're at this new village. We're just calling it a village because it's a collection of people and there's some tents. It basically looks a lot like where they currently live, even though they're nowhere near where they currently live.
Just less grass.
Yeah, pretty much. And it said, look, these people found us after we wrecked. They patched us back up, and we've been working with them ever since, kind of pay off our debt. So, like, this is once again where I say, I think some time has passed. I mean, you got to think, it couldn't have been only a couple days. How long would it have taken Freddie to move all that rubble from the temple, by hand? So, I mean, I think it was at least a couple weeks minimum. And these guys were in a horrible car accident, and not to mention these villages have been coming together from different places and trying to rebuild and stuff like that. One's a puppy and the other's a half puppy. I don't know. I think they're both puppies. One's like a bulldog. The other one's like a basset hound or something.
Yeah.
Have we gone over the fight? No, we're still at the beginning, Cole Dillon. Half fox. Yeah, there are some people who are kind of mixed in. Freddie could be an earthbender. No, we saw him doing it by hand. He wasn't doing any taijutsu at it. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. So the fact that they've been there for God knows how long, and they didn't bother to, I don't know, find a way to notify their own village that they were still alive, or that there were other people who were still alive, like send a letter, something,
Yeah.
It's like, you've been out there for, well, let's just call it at least 3 weeks. I'm going to call it 3 weeks. I don't care what anything else says. They've been out there for a long time. Enough that people really thought they were dead. Like, even if they could have made it home, they had time to have made it home from where they were to still be alive. Everybody gave up on their existence. So think of it that way. How far away would somebody have to be for you to just excuse their life, So, also, they didn't know they were coming back from Segri, so they would have thought they were at Segri when they died, or when everything went down. So, I guess carrier pigeons don't exist in this world. I don't know how villages. Well, look, okay, we know villages can communicate because they were talking about how the one-eyes had been spotted at other villages.
They must have.
They must communicate of some sort, or through common markets, because we know that Maya was trading with people last episode, so there's still a common market area somewhere set up for villages to come together for resources. So nobody from this village decided to go make that meet. How have they been getting by? They don't even have homes.
Is it possible that maybe they have radios?
I don't think so.
And they have cars and ray guns.
No, to me, it would make sense that the Resistance would have had radios because they're the only ones with access to technology.
Right.
But nobody else would. Yeah, survivors of one-eye attacks go to other villages and tell them what happened. But then you have to tell other people. They have to get out. So maybe they send messengers. Maybe. Once again, we'll just let our people think we're dead. It's fine. We'll go back in a little while when we're done whatever it is we're doing with these people. By the way, can your Gunpla help us clear these rocks? Once again, it's basically come down to moving dirt. It's like, I mean, Hirusa says, look, we'll use the Gunpla to help you do whatever you're doing so we can go. And it's like, good, we could use help clearing all this rubble. Is that all they do? Just move dirt around? Like, I mean, that's literally all they did for them outside of fighting One Eyes. Is literally just act like bulldozers.
I think we've established that in the world of Gundam, dirt is very important.
We found all the dirt. We found the dirt. Interesting that they make villages houses that are different from another. Yeah. Have we seen any small animals yet? No, we have not. We talked about that last week, how we've seen no kind of meat creatures at all. They seem to only eat, or maybe it was the week before, they only eat shapeless blobs and vegetables. So we don't know if there's any kind of prey species. So there's that.
Yeah, like I don't think we've even seen like birds.
We haven't seen fish. We had a whole underwater episode, didn't see any fish. No livestock, no nothing. So what do these people eat that doesn't just grow out of the ground? Each other. And we also determined that they make their clothes out of their own fur. Go back and watch that whole explanation, guys. Anyways, so this reunion gets broken up by... Whoop. I skipped a picture. My bad. Hold on. Oh, I didn't insert that picture. Never mind. I screwed that up. Anyways, it's a one-eye attack. Clearly, I forgot to save that as its own picture. Sorry. Big purple eye thing comes in, another scout unit, and attacks. They run in, and Mr. Calico and Mr. Zabun shoot at it with their resistance guns. I'm just going to call it that. And they scare it away. Yay!
Now, do we know it was attacking, quote unquote?
It stepped on a thing.
But it wasn't hurting anybody yet.
That we know of.
And then they show up, shoot it, and then it goes away.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. There's another thing I wanted to point out about this. So remember what happened last week when they encountered one of these things and May shot at it? What happened?
Bigger ones come after it?
No, it died. May shot it and put a whole bunch of bullet holes in it, and it died.
Oh, it blew up. Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't blow up, but yeah,
it died.
It stopped moving.
So when these guys shot it, what happened?
It gets spooked. It goes back a little bit and then runs off.
The beams deflected off of it. So these weapons are left behind by the creators. They're the same purple energy that we see coming out of one-eye weapons.
The markings on it are very similar to the markings that we saw all over the satellite weapon base and even the interface and stuff like that.
Yeah, so these are weapons used by the
These are one-eye weapons, yeah.
These are one-eye weapons. And yet they did nothing to a one-eye. They literally just bounce right off of it.
Well, what better way to make sure that you don't have problems with friendly fire than make sure your weapons can't hurt you?
Yeah. So have the resistance not actually managed to do anything in this quote-unquote war.
Like the only time we know about like major victories, quote unquote, would be we know when Sid shows up.
The Gunpla
he works with them for a little while.
Yeah.
What's that?
Gunpla are the only thing that have taken down one eye, so we can tell. And bombs, probably. When they bomb that one facility, it definitely blows some shit up. However, their own beam weapons don't seem to be very useful. Probably because they weren't meant to be used
to that facility to see if the one eyes are actually destroyed. Those flying one eyes were actually destroyed by the explosives.
Well, we never see them again, so we could probably assume they were wiped out. Because they blew up like everything. Remember, they put like 1,000 bombs on every floor. They put infinite number of bombs out there. What if Alus either race came to that planet? I don't know what you actually meant to say there, Pixel Man. What if an entire war broke out and caused a nuclear style fallout, sending the dogs back to Stone Age and left Alus by himself? That would be weird. We'll eventually find out what happened to the creators. We're going to get more backstory as this goes on. But my point was, this is the first time we see them using weapons against One Eyes, and it literally does nothing but make it back off.
Yeah.
Also, pointing out the fact that, yes, they attacked first. It just kind of arrived and scared people. Now, last week we saw it attack when it came out of the head of the Wyndham after it had already been shot down. This one just wandered up. So, who knows? But as it runs away, Kazumi didn't know what this thing was, obviously. He hadn't seen it before, but May and Hiruto saw it last time. So they said, yeah, those are the things that actually pilot the One-Eye machines. And then the idiots go, yeah, that's the original things that we saw that we started calling One-Eyes. Like, you couldn't share this information before? Like, we've thought that the One-Eyes were all fucking giant Gunpla-shaped robots up until now? Like, seemingly, the Resistance is really bad about sharing information. We know that, what's his ass? Moran really doesn't like to share information, at least not with the divers, but clearly not with individual villages. Like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
This would explain the One-Eye weapons, since the actual One-Eyes we see are robots and don't need handheld guns. Yeah, so maybe there was a race. So their weapons shoot different beams than the ones shot by Gunpla weapons. Well, that would make sense. Not all beam weapons are to the same frequency, depending on what they're based on, you know. Plus,
Heck, I would wager that most of the beam weapons coming from the different Gunpla in the divers team are probably all different types, as it were, because pretty much all of them are different universes.
Yep, that would make sense. Oh, yeah, this is why Alus picked up the Death Army, because they have one eye. It's easy. It already fit our motif. But then why did he pick up the Wyndhams? Or the Daughters? He just started getting more advanced weapons, is really what it came down to. But I found it interesting that May's gun, which is a solid projectile weapon, killed the thing. But also the fact that she kicked the shit out of one last week with almost no effort, and these guys are having a hard time getting it to go away with beam weapons. But now at this point, it comes down to what we said before. Now that we've seen the scout, we probably only have 3 days till they attack. So that's not good, because now they're going to come after all of these people.
Yeah, and Stola mentions that it's like these are like elderly and children, because everybody else went off to the Resistance, and well, that didn't work out too good for them right now.
No, not a whole lot of that. So basically, it's like, look, we need to go. We got to get everybody to the other village at least. You know, bring everybody together, at least get them the hell out of here. And like I said, we can't move all these people. And you see, like, they show that there are a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, a good amount. And yeah, they're made up of remnants of other villages and stuff that are come together. Not to mention, like you said, elderly and kids. I don't know what that really means, except for they don't move very fast. But, like, you guys got this far. You're clearly traveling and just set up where you thought you'd have some cover. And then they say, look, basically, like, we could get the Gunpla and get out of here, but we just have incomplete Gunpla right now. Look, just wait here, and we'll be back. We've got to go find the last sacred temple so that we can summon more powerful Gunpla, so to speak.
I would just like to say I take offense at them referring to May's mobile doll form as an incomplete Gunpla.
Well, I mean, the fact that it's a 2-part Gunpla, so it's only 50% there. I mean, what do you want? It's like him. He doesn't have his armor. Would you say that it's 100% there?
That I would agree with because he doesn't have his armor, but I think May's mobile doll form is perfectly functional fighting unit with or without the Waydom.
Yeah. Why do you say weight on?
I May should have like glared at him or something like that. I think, but
yeah,
she doesn't show that much emotion.
Why do you say weight on when it's clearly Wodom?
Because I've always pronounced it Waydom, even if I didn't know what it was.
Even though there's not an A in it, you call it Waydom.
Isn't it WA?
No, it's O's. It's WODO. Wodom. Not Wadum. It's a Wadum.
Wadum.
Wadum. It seems like One Eye Corps seem to be very, weak to physical damage. Yeah, they were probably like scouts and patrols. They're like, hey, is there anything going on over here that we don't need to send guns for? Send the purple things with spindly legs. Yeah, but I mean, if they're not expecting resistance and they're just literally going to look and see what's up, why not? It's like Seravi and Seraphim. Exactly. I said in turn A, it's Waydom, so I guess you changed it to Wodom.
See?
Well, why is it different?
Because it's a custom Gunpla.
I guess she calls hers a Wodom pod. So, see? So I'm right. It doesn't matter, Android. I'm right. It's Wodom.
It's your show. Of course, you're right.
And you also say it's Jeb. it's clearly spelled on the screen, but you still.
That's because I made a mistake at the beginning.
Literally,
and I just can't unlearn it.
Like episode 3, you get it wrong and you just continue on forever. I will say you're at least consistent. Anyway, so everybody piles into Gunpla. They leave, and they have a nice little conversation. It's like, look, okay, we got to get to the next temple, and then we get this really nice shot of like the area, so we actually can tell where the heck the temples were. So we got the one to the north. There's no telling where they are. That's kind of a difficult thing on the map here, but we're heading west. That's all we know. So their normal one, in theory, is somewhere in the middle of this. Also, not very topographical.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was cool. I like when they show stuff on screen like this.
Yeah, their HUD stuff is always interesting to look at.
Yeah. Kind of found the main villain is the main bad guy from The Incredibles. Which one? Oh, that's why they were making Syndrome jokes last week. I didn't catch that. I remember seeing Syndrome jokes in the thing. It's the Omnipod or Omnibot or whatever. Omnidroid.
Oh.
From the Incredibles. Big old circle on the legs that can only hurt itself. Also, since Allison's scouts, does that mean he avoids sending unnecessary units? Probably, because presumably all these units have to be created from something. The One-Eye mini bots, if you want to call them, control units, might be real, and everything else is made of shining sand in theory. They're gonna sit there and fucking argue in the comments. I'm gonna listen. Anyways, but they don't really get a whole lot of time to talk because then they get attacked. Oh, sorry, I skipped the conversation. I rolled.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh, hush. Anyways, so it said, however, even if they can get to a new summoning point, they can't just keep battling over and over and over. And, Cosby even jumps in. Yeah, we also can't abandon these people. Like, this is why we came back here. I don't even think that was part of the argument. But then again, he's outside and able to have this conversation with them.
They must be broadcasting it across or something, or it's got a loudspeaker or something.
Something. I don't know. It seems like anything touching the Gunpla can communicate with inside the Gunpla. Who knows? But also, they're part of a team. So I figured, like, to me, at any point, they could pull up their control screen and be able to talk to somebody else. That's what I would think anyway.
Yeah, we do know that. We do know from the last episode that Par still has access to his console and stuff.
Yeah, so they could still pull up their GBN consoles. No, Eric, you can't do that yet. Just wait. Also, I think he texted me that a while ago. Anyways, we also see Alus for the first time so far. Just surrounded by some screens, standing there. Nothing important happening, right?
Nothing important at all. Throwaway scene. Probably put in by accident.
Yep. And then a big old thing comes flying from across the world. See a little bling.
Sploosh.
Sploosh. Maybe the one eyes are made of different stuff since they have purple goo inside. Ooh, maybe they're made of purple goo. And it's blue goo, technically. It's not purple. You get this huge beam attack out of nowhere. Nails like where May is holding on to the Core Gundam. And like she falls. And so she's falling, Kazumi's falling, and then commercial break.
Yeah, killing them both, roll credits.
Yes, everybody died. It's over. Nobody cares. Hold on. Carlos, wait. If the Gunplas are made out of special sand, why Alus have that factory building them and the corridors have normal size like forward production crew? We don't know. You can talk.
Is it my turn now?
Yes, it's been your turn.
I was
just having awkward silence.
The chat. I was making sure.
Commercial break. Commercial break.
Once we get back from the commercial break, we don't get to see what happens to Kazumi because, of course, we don't. We see Moran watching the sky through a telescope, and I'm looking at this going, it's like, yeah, you can look like you're looking at things, but you can't see anything with that. You can't see into a supercell to see what's going on.
You don't know. maybe it's a special telescope that allows him to see through clouds. Because he knows where he's looking.
What we do know is he can hear shots being fired off nearby.
He does hear shots and or explosions. Oh, by the way, I had a picture. There it is.
There we are. This
really
is a
nice,
cool shot, though.
Really nice painting again. Yeah, seriously though, he's like, you don't even see where they were at to go to Mount Melag. Just that they had to be up at this one mountain to see all the things, so to speak.
Anyway, so now we cut back to Hiroto. He swoops in, just barely able to catch Kazumi, but in the process, he transforms, lands hard. Kazumi tumbles out unscathed, but most likely scared shitless.
Yeah.
I have a quote from Chicken Run written down here saying, it's like, all my life flashed before my eyes. It was really boring.
Yeah. Well, the way I look at it, so like they fall to the ground. He does catch him, but then instead of like holding him tight, he actually lets him out of his hand so that he could still burn off the rest of that kinetic energy. Because if he just held him, he would have just splatted in the hand.
Yeah, so that's some real nice physics there.
Yeah, they're actually playing with real physics there because everybody that Superman catches at high speed would just explode in his arms. It's true.
And then May lands near them with looking super cool, doing superhero style landing. And we see the sword and shield go ching, ching.
Which was pretty neat.
Yeah. Just in time for them to get shot at again.
Yeah, that keeps happening.
They duck behind some rocks, and Hiroto is clearly rattled by this. His expression, he's got sweat going, and he's like, what the hell is going on? Sniping? Can the one-eyes fight like that? Of course, he doesn't have too long to think about this because he gets shot at again through the rock wall that he's hiding behind.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful beams coming at them. Like, it's really wrecking everything it's hitting.
Yeah, and poor Kazumi is just like, he's behind his own rock, covering his head, trying desperately not to get hit by debris and, lasers.
Purple lasers.
Purple lasers.
Just pointing that out.
Not red or blue lasers. It's not G.I. Joe or Cobra.
Nope. We know that for sure.
Decepticons.
Did they shoot purple lasers?
Yeah. Autobots shoot like red or orange. Decepticons shoot purple. They also have their own unique sounds.
Well, I know that.
At least in G1, I should say.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, we cut back to Hiruto, and he's using like the onboard computer to calculate out where this thing is. Oh, you got a screenshot for that and everything.
Yeah, if you were looking at my notes.
And he's trying to figure out where the sniper. Yes, but your notes has a bunch of pictures on it, and I can't print all that. The wife told me no.
You don't have to print it with the pictures. Anyways.
Anyway, May checks in and is trying to see if he's figured anything out yet. And he's like, no, I don't have enough data. And May's like, okay, I'll act as bait.
He's like, what?
Which Hiruto does not care for that.
Exactly.
And she's like, I can do it. And then she just jumps out, and we then cut back to the mysterious sniper as he readies his weapon again, and it goes all tentacle monster, which is gross.
Yeah. Now, I do want to talk about that so briefly. So he's got this awesome weapon out here. And by the way, I think I want to point out the fact that, well, one, we already know what this is. Two, yeah, it's already wearing its armor, I think. Look at the shot. Look at the shot. Look at all the blue. I think it's already wearing its armor in this shot. And for dramatic reasons, it dumps its armor and then puts it back on. Because also it's using its huge sniper weapon, which we see later, to be a combined weapon. So I think it's already like armored up with this.
Yeah.
But the fact that the tentacles come out of the gun, pull the hand into it, and then start shooting bigger beams.
Again.
Yeah, is weird. It's almost like it got stronger. Like, behold the power of two hands.
I also just want to know what the hell is up with the tentacles. That is so weird, and we have not seen anything like that with the past One-Eye mechs, right?
Yeah.
And it's not even I mean, I suppose it could be just low detail or something like that, but it's not even like the tentacles that the little pod
like wires.
have.
Yeah, they just look like wires. So I think there's like a semi, not really organic, but some type of that nature to the weapons. So like maybe it needed more energy transfer, something like that. Like we know that's in some Gundams, that is how they do it. The weapon is powered directly through the hand. So having the other hand on there gives it double output. And we know that this is a very high output weapon.
Yeah,
like
just a little.
Very, and it has some pretty cool trick shots coming up later. But purple goo magic, there we go. But yeah,
speaking of trick shots.
Yes.
Oh, do you got something?
I don't know. Continue.
Okay, then I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
So it fires again. Hiruto gets a little warning screen, says something like high energy detected or something.
Yeah.
Shouts out a warning to May, and she throws out her beam shield generators and the Valkylander shield just for good measure.
Yep.
And it doesn't work.
No.
Like it stops it for a second.
Yeah, it stops it and then it blows right past. I don't know if it destroys it, but it at least knocks the shields out of the way. But I wanted to point out the fact that you can see here that the beam is a purple beam, like all these other weapons, but then surrounded by like red lightning. Like, and
that is
I think cool. I think only certain weapons we've seen so far do that. I don't even think that like hyper beam, like the moon gun, didn't do that. But I think some of the yeah.
Do you have? Can you go back a few? Because you had a shot of one of the initial blasts from this thing, right?
Not from this screen. I can't. There we go. Yep. So if I change screens, yeah, solid purple.
Solid purple, no black lightning.
Also very
Tentacle
focused.
monster grabs the hand. Black lightning.
Yeah. Huh. Higher output.
There we go.
But also, if I believe that's similar to how the Celsam's weapon worked as well. When he used like the big fold-out cannon, I think it had black lightning as well.
You might be right.
We'd have to look at it.
Look back at that.
Yeah, we'll have to go back next week and look at that because obviously too late now. It used it gets yes. It used the Hollow Getsuga Tensho. Yes, I knew somebody would go there because I was purposely trying to make a Bleach reference and see if anybody would catch it. His Hollow-fied Getsuga Tensho was black with red lightning, and then his full bring swastika weapon was also black with red lacing.
I don't think I made it that far in Bleach.
You didn't watch enough Bleach, damn it. Anyways, it's coming back.
Not for trying. It just got like 500 episodes, and after a point, I was like, 500
episodes. You still watch One Piece.
Anyway, so the shields they slow it down enough, but she barely gets out of the way before the thing blasts everything around her.
Yeah, here's a good point.
But she is able to use the Justice Shield, but since her flying. Remember, Black Lightning means evil in Japanese. Yes.
Probably. Sure. Yay, Bleach reference. Always got to bring it back to Bleach. Bleach, Game of Thrones, or whatever else.
What's that?
Nothing.
Hirdo rushes forward, transforming into flight mode, then back to mobile suit mode so you can fire off some inflatable dummies.
I like the inflatable dummies. So I don't know if we've seen him do that before, but I feel like we've definitely seen it before.
It's something that's popped up in Gundam in a couple of different series.
Yeah.
But it's neat seeing him kind of bust out like a lot of the Universal Century style tactics and stuff.
Yep. But what happens when he throws out the dummies?
So yeah, they float out, and then suddenly we have a trap thing like the one that he used in the very first episode of the series, and then they pop like balloons because they're balloons.
Yes. But you also should have said, it's a trap!
There's a trap!
But for those who want to see the comparison, so this is the one we just saw where he triggers the trap, which actually looks like those one-eye arms you were talking about. And this is the one from episode 1. The one he uses, where the thing deploys up and then sends out the electric cradle to electrocute this ridiculous monstrosity from that episode. And yes, I accidentally went to the English dub to get the screenshot. It was terrible. Don't watch the English dub.
Yeah, it was fine.
I couldn't tell the difference between Hiruto's voice and the guys he was quote unquote rescuing. Zero Maru had the dummy trick too. That's right, it did. Where did she pull the Justice Shield from? Her back, but it wasn't.
Yeah, she keeps
in
it.
The animation.
She's been keeping it kind of like
it wasn't there
on her backpack or something.
No, she has. You're right. She has been carrying it on her back, except you couldn't see it prior to her throwing it or using it.
Hammer space, then.
Yep.
All girls have access to it.
Pocket dimension. Transformers reference. Pocket dimension. Or whatever they call that. But yeah, no, anyway. I thought the dummies were a cool idea, but like to me, I would have like saved a couple, like used them as a distraction against the sniper. But I like the idea that he fell for his own trap and he just went, "Wait a minute, that's my trap." Don't I do that?
Yeah, Hiruto isn't pleased about any of this stuff that's going on.
Oh, something I didn't get a screenshot of. The thing that was in the ground of the trap was totally a one-eye thing. A little square with the purple triangle and stuff like that. Looks straight out of their text. So,
yeah. I noticed that too. It's decidedly one-eye tech.
Indeed.
And this is when we see our enemy. Anytime now. There we go. So
there's a slight lag.
I've just been calling this thing the Evil Core Gundam because I couldn't remember what its actual name is. Is it just Alus Core Gundam or something like that?
I think it is. I think on the actual kit, it's either Alus Core or Alus Earth 3, but just call it Evil Core for all that matters.
Yeah.
Nobody cares, except for Androius, because he's going to correct you regardless.
Whatever. It's YouTube. We're supposed to get corrected by our viewers, right?
It's called subsplaining. I don't miss
So-
Jetfire.
The evil Core Gundam swoops down from the sky with a high output beam saber that I think is like its entire freaking hand.
Yeah, it is like the arm. Like, it's crazy. But
And
there's one thing.
Go for it.
Yeah. So I, for a second, thought that they were really going to imitate that first scene when the Core Gundam comes in episode 1. So we got the trap set, and I thought it was going to come in, but the first thing he did in that was he actually like hammers down on the head of that thing and smashes it. He doesn't come in shooting and stuff, but he also came in like from the sun, kind of, when he dropped in. This one did not. He just kind of swooped in, ready to go all slashy.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. And also the fact that the evil core is taller than the regular core.
Yeah, because he's got like the extended legs, and his arms, I think, are a little bit longer too.
Yeah, so he's not quite as compact, so to speak.
Yeah, so he comes out slashing at Hiruto, and you briefly see the Core Gundam 2 reflected in the dome, sort of symbolizing how this thing is like a dark reflection of his own mobile suit.
It's a dark
Also just
mirror.
looks freaking rad when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was in the teaser last week. So, guys, just go remember that I did that in the teasers from last week. Use your imagination.
But we don't have time for the battle right now. We're cutting back to Freddie and Par.
Yes, we are.
Reenacting a scene from The Wizard of Oz, if you ask me, because it very much reminds me of the scene when they're walking down the long hallway to the wizard, being scared about everything that waits for them. And Freddie just keeps on going about the various ways the divine beast will kill them horribly when they meet. Yeah.
He's such a jackass. What if he does this? And Par's literally like, that's not helping. He's like, I'm trying to be brave here because he might eat us if we're scared. Like, shut the fuck up, Freddie.
Like, could you not?
Yeah. It's like, thanks. I hadn't thought of that terrible thing yet. Like, if we were voicing this over, literally it'll be like, really? Thanks for that. I hadn't thought of that horrible outcome yet. Ass.
Eventually they make it to a big door, open it up, and they find a summoning area filled with shining sand. And just as they're celebrating, that's when they see the giant freaking dragon.
You wrote fucking in your notes.
Yes, I did.
You should say that word.
Giant fucking dragon.
Thank you. Yeah, so this is the part that bothers me about this entire temple. Apparently, it makes giant black dragons invisible from a distance.
Yes.
Because most people seem to walk almost completely across this room before noticing it. Either that or it's super dimly lit, which it's clearly not.
Like, I could maybe forgive it in this scene because it could be from a distance or something like that. It just looks like a weird pile of rocks or something like that. Spencer Sennial can't see you.
Hold on, wait. And then one more. Because really, let's just be honest here. He's a straight up legendary Pokemon. He's got a bad attitude.
More something out of a JRPG, but sure.
No,
I mean, technically Pokemon is a JRPG, so
he's literally either a legendary Pokemon or a legendary Digimon. Either way, the mouth doesn't work. He's got like a booming voice. He's enormous, and he's got weird glowing orbs.
He could also be a summon from Final Fantasy.
He could, kind of, but he would have to have like fire coming out of him. But yeah, no, they literally walk up on it like, but actually from a distance, like just looking at that shape, it's literally like, what the fuck is that? Other than
feathers. That's why at least in this scene I can kind of forgive it because it doesn't look like much of anything.
One shot catch. But yeah, no, we have our I almost said mythical beast, our sacred beast, Quadron, The hardest name to possibly say.
But
Corridorn. They say Corridorn a lot, so it's like we're gonna somehow figure it out. But either way,
yeah. So they when we look at, there is something off about it, but they will address that later. Because right now we cut back to Hiruto fighting with the evil Core Gundam.
yeah,
And we finally hear Alus communicating with them. He's going on about like,
I have this cool screenshot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I thought that was a really cool transition. They went from Alus talking to coming through the eye of his Core Gundam.
Very cool.
Really nice scene transition.
Yeah, he's like,
a pain in the ass to catch.
He's saying, "You're interfering. Why are you doing this? Preserving the land of Eldora. That should be top priority. Even so, excuse me, why?"
Now, does he say that should be top priority or that's my top priority?
I have written down that should be top priority, and I thought I was trying to transpose what I was reading. So
no, I'm not judging your writing it down. My question is, what did he actually say? Like, because obviously the translations are never 100% certain words, because I don't know if that's a thing that is, you know, like there's a special phonetic thing to say my versus the. I'm sure there might be, but I'm really interested in that because he does say it should be the priority or whatever. But yes.
And cut. What? Oh, we got another one.
There you go. Anyways,
I have a similar comment to that later. You guys are getting ahead of me.
yes, they are.
Kazumi, who apparently can hear all this, shouts out that the reason should be obvious, and then May just starts shooting the crap out of the evil Core Gundam.
I'm fairly certain he was broadcasting. Oh, by the way, here you can see the shield on her back, which is clearly shrunk slightly because it fits behind her hair now. Mythical magical shield of disappearing.
And Kazumi says that they're protecting the people of Eldora and that they won't let something like that happen again. Alus doesn't care about what he's saying at all.
No, he doesn't care. But the fact that they're both literally like, look, well, actually, Alus reacts, if I remember correctly, to them saying that they'll protect the people of Eldora.
Yeah, he's not pleased, basically.
Yeah, I feel like he just didn't. He did react to that.
I think it was sort of like he made kind of like a upset grunt or something like that. Kind of glared.
He's like, glares and defense program. There's a good meme. Alus squinting at the screen, glares and defense program. Anyways,
Kazumi
something happens.
Shouts out for May to keep firing, but her scopes pick up something, and she drops to the ground just in time to dodge parts of the Core Gundam's own Earth 3 armor. And this is such a cool scene.
Yeah, I love that. Literally, it flies in a perfect formation over her head.
And I find it interesting that the pieces are flying on their own. There's no core flyer, even though we know at least the Gunpla has something like that, though it doesn't ever look aerodynamic.
Yeah, probably. But then again, it's its own world. It can sort of do what it wants. Or it's just going straight up Mark 42. It's like each piece is its own thing. He's like, how do I make this mine but better?
Right.
I think there should have been that reaction, like, what are you? I'm you, but better.
Better.
Also, the sense of scale here. So you see Kazumi's ass in the air, and May staring at it, and then you also see how big the armor is flying overhead.
Yeah.
Also, I just now noted that she's staring directly into his butt. Good luck on seeing it, guys. She's staring directly at his butt. Here, I'll make it even easier to see. There you go. Just staring at his ass. Look, it really is that
badass.
Badass. Alus went all Iron Man 3. I mean, it really is that moment. Like, literally, like
right.
Tony, right now. It's not going. Any minute now. Okay.
So he goes, core change, ducking, go. And we see it combined with wicked guitar music. And something I noticed is that after it does its little, he does his own little post transformation combination pose thing, and we see the satellite weapon behind it, and that is just so cool. Yeah. Particularly since that's a very anime thing to do, but they're doing it in a. It's not like Sailor Moon where their planets appear behind them or something like that, and it's just for effect. This is quote unquote actually happening. And I think that's just a neat thing to do.
Okay, so Genesis Mon again said that he just watched that scene again. He said he does say it's protecting the land should be the top priority. I'm just making sure. Cool. Henshin. Yeah, literally Henshin. Henshin on my change.
And now Hiruto isn't very pleased. And I have like, you son of a bitch, you stole my OC.
And no one knows what that is.
Oh, come on. His original character, do not steal.
He already stole it. Literally, Alice is like, I'm going to steal it.
And actually, and Kazumi even notes that this guy has obviously copied Hiruto.
Yes. Copied it good, too. Copied it so well, it's not really that close to the actual Earth 3 armor. But the concept is still the same. He's like, I want the blue one. Just wait till you see the white one that I've got coming. It's all shiny and new.
Ba-dum-bum.
Keep going.
So you hear Alice going, it's like, Gunpla are a threat. They're always interfering. In order to eliminate you, this machine was... And I have her tell us, like, while he's saying these blasphemous things because Gunpla are a threat? Really? We see screens around him showing Hiruto at various points in his life, including when he's on Team Avalon.
Yes, that's what I have on the screen. By the way, this happened so quick, I didn't get the first screenshot. Like, I was trying to get the other side, and I hit the button, and it went to this one. It went so fast. This is literally where he'd be like, Gunpla are a threat. Some freedoms should be taken away. Like, Gunplay is freedom. Some people should have their freedom taken away. If he wants to be a real, to me that would be like an ultimate villain type right now. If somebody replied Gunpla is freedom, and then he says that line, it would be so awesome. I'd be like,
that would be
justification
totally character too.
Yeah, except he's not maniacal. He's just got an evil base.
He's very well. He's
somebody.
He reminds me a lot of like some versions of Shockwave, where he's all logic and stuff. He's driven by his one particular goal. Everything else is surplus and does not need to exist.
Yeah, but yeah, he's definitely like prime Shockwave, super logical. And then there's this. That's not irony. It's called hypocrisy.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's copying Gunpla, so he may not see what he does as a threat because he's using it to do his job. Someone else comes in using this thing to stop him from doing his job.
I mean, and technically they might not be considered Gunpla because they're not made from plastic model kits. They're
yeah, he wouldn't see them as a Gunpla if they're not Gunpla. I don't know what he would call them though. I don't know what is it. They're Gunsend.
Gunsen.
They're made of sand. Weird. They're made of sand.
Anyway, we don't have time for focusing on all this stuff because it's time to go back to Par and Freddie.
Is it?
Yes.
Shit. Okay. But the battle.
Nope, we don't have time to look at the battle right now.
But I want to watch the battle.
Freddie is wondering what they should do, and Par notices that the dragon is hurt. One of its wings is badly damaged, and Par feels kind of bad for it. And I have to admit, that was one of the first things I noticed when they were showing the heap of dragon, basically. I was like, wait, what's the deal with one of its wings? It's all bent up and messed up looking.
But what's crazy about the screenshot is showing how big it is.
Yeah.
He is massive compared to them. Like, kind of Gunpla sized,
right?
A little bit, but yeah, he's awesome. We get a lot of good shots of the big dragon person.
You can tell they had fun with this design.
Yeah, definitely. He almost
So
looks like he might become a fancy armor for something later.
they get close and he wakes up and looks at them and he says, "You're one of the new people." And Freddie's like, "New?" And Par's like, "It talked?"
Yeah.
Which I think is very rude to just assume that it can't talk.
Also, I wouldn't consider what it's doing talking because it doesn't have a mouth.
Its design is really interesting. Bringing up that the lack of a mouth, it's clearly an animal, but the way everything is shaped and flows off of each other is not like any like real animal in the world, and I think that's really cool.
Also, are we ignoring some of the Guyver inspiration on this thing?
It is a little Guyver, isn't it?
Like the big curvy horn, the big circular stuff. It's got some Guyver influence in there. I just noticed that. Yeah, he's very psychic type. Yeah, 100% he's talking with it. Also, he has an ethereal glow at all times. Like he always has a gray outline around him.
Like I just figured that was like Bloom or something like that. It's supposed to be like the light reflecting off of him.
Because in the final scene, I don't think I got it on the screenshot. He definitely has it against all the background, and there's no like bloom from like a light source behind him. But definitely telepathic, which would be more freaky is if they're not hearing the voice out loud, they're hearing it in their heads. I always like when they make a comment like that. Oh my god, like I can hear it in my head, you know.
Yeah, but they don't make a comment like that. So for right now, we probably need to assume that it's somehow making noises that they can hear.
His speakers. Well, as we find out, he's definitely electronic.
Yeah. And he says, and a person of Gunpla, correct?
Yep.
And before anybody really has time to respond to that, we hear sounds of battle and it looks up. And now we come back to the battle.
Yeah. Well, here's actually so this would be a sign of the bloom like you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So he's literally looking up at the light source, so it's shining down on him. So yes, that would make sense. But in scenes later, it doesn't.
It also makes it so he stands out instead of blending in with the dark background.
Yes. Are those Funsakai back legs? No. Doesn't really look that animalistic. Just got 4 things touching the ground. It's kind of hard to identify anything that it's a part of.
But yeah, anyway, like I said, it's quadrupedal, but it doesn't really look like a real animal per se. This is where like the comparisons to like Pokemon and Digimon are really not that far off.
No, I mean like their mystical beasts always look a little bit weird. Like sure, it's recognizable as a dragony looking thing, but like the limbs may not make sense. Large orbs on it don't clearly make sense. Like in fact, it's got orange and blue orbs other than his eyes on his head, and you're like, okay.
I have to admit, when we first see it like open its eyes, I get a little confused because I kept on thinking that the orbs and stuff were its eyes. And it suddenly has like regular eyes, like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we cut back to the fight between the divers and the evil Core Gundam, and it's not going so well for them.
Not really, no.
May gets knocked back. Hiro's weapons get destroyed.
Yeah.
And like if I remember correctly, evil Core Gundam's got Hiroto down and is about ready to blast him like point blank.
Yeah.
And then Muron shows up and starts blasting him while driving, which can't be very safe.
Muron to the rescue. Well, why not? I mean, he's just doing a drive-by. It's not that hard.
It also just looks incredibly awkward the way he's doing that.
I mean, also, it's a hover truck. He could be strafing while doing this. Turn it sideways and just go towards it. You'd have a much better shot.
Drift.
But also, it looks like he has a crab hand.
Yeah.
The gun makes it look like he has a crab hand. But yeah, he's just he showed up to help. I give him credit.
Yeah, considering that before he was kind of like, I hate you guys and I want you to be dead, and now he's showing up doing something incredibly stupid, like shooting at a high-powered Gunpla thing that's
with
already
weapons that don't work
besting
on
your
them.
champions.
Yeah. I will say the CG in this section was a little wonky. Like the ground and the rocks and stuff are definitely CG. And it doesn't show up worse than whenever the Core Gundam gets knocked through that one tower of rocks and it literally just breaks apart. Like you can tell it was a
Yeah, it's
still
like they
image and
took
they
the
just
map painting and then cut it.
yeah, they just broke
like
it down.
Yeah.
It's just like it looks so bad in comparison to all the other things they do. I was like, I get that it's fast motion and they just wanted it to be CG as much as they could. It looked weird.
Could have been a cost-saving thing or a time-saving thing. It's like, oh crap, we're running behind. Or just shit something out.
Pretty much. But either way, him shooting at it only saves them for a second.
Yeah, because the evil Core Gun was like, okay, goodbye. It's about to blast Miran to particles when he rushes in. When Hiruto suddenly rushes up, blocks it with his shield, gets flying back and hits the rock, destroying it, which is what we were just talking about. And maybe the shield got destroyed too, because you don't see it when he hits that thing.
Yeah, might have got destroyed. We'd have to go back and look after the fact and see if he still had it, because I don't know that he can fly without it.
But Hiruto's in the red. Evil's about to blast him point blank. And the Divine Beast decides he is done with this. He's not having any of it. He lets out an energy blast in the sky and causes lightning to rain down. Yeah.
So one thing I thought was interesting about this, one, he like charges up, like you see it start like on the almost like a V-fin. And then, all this blue lightning energy comes off of him. Now, mind you, it's funny, in this shot that I've got, you don't see Freddie or Par standing there. So they just wanted a really cool dramatic shot. But the fact that it like comes off of him, but also is loud, like he's making a sound as this happens, because they have to cover their ears from the like loud screeching. So it's possible that this is not a good feeling for him. And like I didn't catch all the stages of this, but it's awesome. So it shoots up through the mountain, almost like an energy volcano, into the clouds where it like deposits. And everything starts to swirl, and then just lightning starts coming out of the thing. And I think at one point it like turns into like a concentrated beam almost. Like I think it starts coming into one spot and shoots at the Core Gundam. I could be wrong, but I think it does that.
I can't remember.
I think it does. Because it does this.
There we are.
Yes. As Hiruto's about to take it to the face.
Yeah. Alus says the beast name with, how's it pronounced?
Quadron. Or they're almost saying a Kudaron.
Kudaron?
But Kuadaron. It's hard to say. It's almost like it's cauldron. It's almost like it's cauldron, but they don't know how to say it. Like,
well, with the R and L thing that they have.
Yeah, with R and L. So it's like we see how it's spelled, but like it's one of those things that's hard to know exactly how to say it. But either way, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. But Alice says the beast name, sort of indicating there's some level of familiarity between Alice and this thing.
Yes. And given both of their abilities to levy some rather large attacks and also know what's going on around the world, it's entirely possible they're part of the same type of system.
Yeah. Sister programs, perhaps, or something.
Protector programs of some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Or
anyway, the
elementals.
The Core Gundam, the evil Core Gundam dodges lightning a few times and flies off.
Flies away very disheartened.
What's that?
He flies away very disheartened. I'll get you next time, Bill Divers.
Next time, Gadget. Next time.
Next time, Bill Divers. Next time. That's hard to do, by the way. I'm going to work on it.
That's because neither of us are Frank Welker.
I'm going to work on it for my evil Alice impression.
Fun fact, the voice for Soundwave is the same as the voice for Dr. Claw, just with reverb put on it.
Yep.
Anyway, so May comes in asking if he's okay. And he says he is, but he's like, what the hell was that? And that's when the clouds part and Milog Mountain actually descends down.
Indeed. It looks pretty.
Yeah. And Moran's like, the sacred barrier has been lifted, so we can all go there. But we don't have time for that.
He let down the antivirus program. He turned off his VPN.
So now we can go exactly to its location.
Exactly. Actually, it is kind of like a VPN because it kind of floats around the world. Nobody knows exactly where it is at any given point until it wants to reveal itself. Unless you happen to have a...
This video is sponsored by Milog Mountain VPN. Anyway, we cut back to the real world with Hinata dropping off stuff for her parents at the hospital.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. It's like, oh, yeah, back in the real world, because that's still a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a tonal whiplash because we're going from this battle to sort of mundane life. But we do get our Patrick cameo. Hold
on.
There's the point. Collect all 8 batches first.
That's why he won't listen to them. It is Pokemon. Anyways, continue. There you go. There. And I had to point this out to you because you didn't catch it the first go around.
What, the Patrick being on the bag?
Yeah, you didn't catch it the first time.
Did it? Okay.
No, I pointed it out to you. Like, oh. But at least he's in person this time, not a name on the screen.
I'm curious, what kind of uniform is he wearing there?
It looks like a Fetty type uniform. Like a... No, not the Earth Federation one. I think that's just his normal one from whatever.
It's green and red, whatever.
I think that's. Was he an HRL? I'm trying to remember.
No, he's not uniform. Like he was.
No, he's not the European one, AEU.
Yeah, it's like not Union, but
yeah. It's the European Asian. Yeah, he's AEU. So I think that's his normal AEU uniform. Not AUG. Don't put the G at the end.
That's a different thing.
Does Patrick get royalties for his merch? Uniform. We don't know. We don't know why Patrick is in every episode, but someday we'll find out because he's also invading the real world too. So it's like not
Patrick
only
is the creator,
just in general. So yeah. Anyways, continue.
See, we got so far off topic, I lost my spot. Anyway,
you had notes on this nursing station.
What's that?
You had notes on what this nursing station.
Oh yeah, I thought just a weird thing that I was looking at the nurses station on this, and I thought it looked very realistic. It made me wonder if this was based off of like an actual hospital or something, or just they did a lot of research and made a super realistic functioning nurses station for just this one scene that we only see for like a few seconds.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Anyway, it turns out that Hinata's dropping off stuff for her parents because apparently they left stuff at the house.
Yeah, because they're doctors.
And the nurse there is like, oh, it must be difficult having such absent-minded parents. He's like, oh, I'm used to it. Like, not even denying.
Just leaving that there. But yeah, no, yeah, it's because we brought it up before because it was in the intro when we see Hinata with Shido's sister, and we're like, wait, why are these two being shown together in the intro? That's a little odd. And then we get our answer in this scene.
She almost runs into Mizuki. What's that?
Is it Mizuki or is it Mizuku?
I have MIZUKI on my notes.
Okay, I have to double check because I thought for some reason it was Mizuku.
Anyway, apparently she's a former upperclassman of hers because she specifically refers to her as Mizuku Senpai.
Yes.
And it bugs me a little bit that they did not include that in the subtitles, because I feel that's a kind of important detail to this.
Hold on, Carlos. Why do you think this scene was a waste of time? We have to actually take a break from the action, for one thing, but also there's still stuff happening in the real world that will matter, because as we're going to find out, she of course is at the hospital visiting her brother. She also doesn't tell Hinata why she's there. She's almost like reticent to mention it. So like, I think there's something else going on there. Like, she talked to the divers before, pretty openly about this. But like,
when it comes to Hinata, she doesn't want to say anything about it. Because they talk a little bit, they reminisce about the Archer team. It seems like she was part of that team, and like I think she even said like she had records and stuff like that.
Yeah.
With the team.
Yeah. They talk about, because they talk about archery. They talk about how they were almost 8th place this go around. And she like laughs at him, like, really? Like, that's not exactly much of a record. And then she even mentions that, calls her a Butterfingers or something.
Yeah.
From like the season before, or whatever you want to call it. And she's like, what? Like, she's like, it's like for a second she almost doesn't realize that she sucks, even though she knows she sucks. Her previous instructor has kind of mentioned that she needs to practice a lot more. That was a big deal in season 1. We saw her off practicing a lot more off hours because she kind of sucked on her archery. But like, I mean, like, he despises Hinata for some reason. I'm like, but no, she's like Hirato's anchor to reality. He doesn't have anyone else that keeps anyone else in real life that's important to him, so to speak. His parents are, but she matters because she is his like real world connection. But now we've got Shido and Hirato's real world connection that know each other already and are both on the outsides of what's happening in Eldora. So it does matter that they have this connection.
Yeah, when she asks her, ask her if she's visiting anybody, we just sort of
they just show him in bed.
What's that?
They just show him in bed. Yeah.
They show him in bed, and she doesn't say anything. She has like they cut to her hands like she's holding the coffee cup, and then she kind of clenches it a little bit. Then we see Sid in the hospital bed, and all she says is, "There's something I need to do here."
Yeah.
And Hinata obviously knows something's up, because she's pretty on the ball when it comes to other people's feelings, it seems. Even if she can't necessarily do a whole lot to help, but she's pretty empathic like that.
Yeah, she's pretty empathetic. Yeah. And also it's somebody that she knows and respects, And of course, you run into somebody at the hospital, you want to know what they're doing there, because whether it's them or someone they care about, you ask.
Yeah.
And then
Hinata is just a good person.
Yeah. One needs a real life waifu. One needs a real life waifu to stay in real life. There you go.
But we cut back to Hirata and company.
Oh, do we?
Their Gunplas are all parked outside the temple, and they start walking inside. And again, they come into the temple. They're looking around and stuff like that. And Cosme doesn't see the dragon until they're all the way in.
Like, look how close they are before he makes the remark about it.
And now it looks like a freaking dragon that's staring at them.
Yeah. But yeah, you can see the kind of ethereal bloom around him, sort of. But the fact that everything else just has highlights, but he's like got a solid gray line around him, like all aspects of him. But anyway, also don't look at his eyes, because they look really dumb right here. Because he looks cross-eyed because he's looking down at them. Also, now I'm having a hard time not seeing like Woody Woodpecker, like a black Woody Woodpecker. Like if you look directly at his face, it's kind of.
And funny. Actually, the aesthetic makes me think of Escaflowne a little bit. Now that I think about it,
it does. The gems on the shoulders and whatnot. It's very Escaflowne. You're right. She's Hirato's lightning rod. Yes, that's a good reference. Anyways,
but
important conversation.
Yeah, Kazumi shouts out, and this dragon is just already seems to have had enough of this. He's like, "What a clamorous day!"
I
I
love
just thought
that.
that was a hilarious
What
reaction
a
to
glamorous
Kazumi
day.
being Kazumi.
Yeah.
And Par introduces him as Mr. However it's pronounced.
Yeah. Kurodorn.
Kurodorn.
Kurodorn. Oh,
And
it's Dorn.
I have
That's
a
right.
note here saying it's like, can we get him to be voiced by Michael Dorn when they dub this? Because that would be awesome.
Mr. Michael Dorn.
Yeah. Worf.
Michael Dorn. Michael Dorn. That's what his name is now. Better Kurodorn. And I didn't get a shot of it, but whenever actually I had it last week, but Moran comes up and he's basically like, "Hey Gordon, what's up?"
Yeah.
Like talking to him like it's nothing. And at that shot, you actually see, as someone just pointed out, the thrones, or at least chairs, behind him on the wall. You don't see it here; you see it in the close-up on Moran. So it's almost like the potential people who get summoned also have a place to sit and talk with the sacred beasts. Perhaps.
A place for the future dialogues?
Perhaps. Or is it a place for them to stay?
Anyway, so May's like, so this is, and Kazumi goes, "Are we doing fantasy now?" And I find that rich coming from, the guy that styles himself after a knight.
Huh? Oh, yeah, sorry, I was reading. Correct, yeah, he make the fantasy line, yeah, so just fantasy now?
Yeah, and then that's when Moran comes up. It's like, "Yo, been a while.
Yeah,
How's it hanging?"
Literally addresses the god in front of him. "Hey, it's been a while, man.
Sup, dude? How's it hanging?"
Literally just subdudes him.
And he's like, "Is this your doing? Did you send these children to me on an errand?"
Yeah. Also, we get the nice close-up of his face here. Where
Yeah.
He definitely looks like an ostrich.
A little bit.
He looks like an ostrich. He's definitely a little bit more bird than reptile.
Yeah.
And feathers. So I mean, it's definitely an interesting design. But like he looks menacing, but comforting at the same time. He's got like kind but angry eyes.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to put it.
And he says, they're a person of the Gunpla in his summoner, which that's a really awkward way of phrasing it.
Well, this is the thing that we talked about the other day once I watched the episode. So we know that Sid or Shido never came through their village, never came through their temple. But for him to specifically say, "and their summoner," speaking about Freddie, as we saw in the flashback episode, Freddie is the one who activated the temple, the one who was scanned, and the one who literally summons them there.
Yeah.
And he has to be there when they come in, and probably when they leave. So is there a connection between the temple and their designated summoner? And as you pointed out before, when it scanned Freddie, the image was already there, almost as though it knew Freddie beforehand. So is Freddie more important than anybody knows, or is he just some dumb kid who pushed the right button?
It's obvious that Freddie is the dog emperor of all Eldora.
Could be. It could be that. Or as you said, Freddie is a sacred beast. I don't think that Freddie's a sacred beast. But obviously, the term summoner means a lot more. Obviously, Moran knows far more than he's been telling anybody, especially given the fact that he has had interactions with a previous person of the Gunpla to such a degree that this particular sacred beast dragony person knows about it and is not happy about the fact there are more of them here.
Yeah, because he says, like, "I owe a debt to the people of the Gunpla.
Yeah.
Those two already told me what was happening. Leave here at once."
Yeah. He's literally, get the hell out of here.
I don't want you here, GTFO.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. We skipped it over just for a second because I keep interrupting your notes so you lose your place. But Hiruto asked him, were you the one who sent the lightning? And he's like, yeah, yes, I owe a debt to the people of the Gunpla, which we find out next episode. Personally, I really like this shot. Like, this is a fantastic perspective shot of him. Also, the fact that he hasn't left his pedestal. Like this is my spot. Like, this is my throne. You know. And while he was helpful, he's definitely not keen on it. But given there's a history, obviously, between him and Alus, and he's capable of not only fighting off Alus's attacks, but to the fact that Alus wouldn't attack him so far that we know of.
But after he basically tells him to get out, that is the end.
Sure it is. Yes, that would be the implication that we'll probably get into next week here. That Muran summoned Shido, which also explains his connection and information, all those other things. There's also this.
0% patience.
we're missing some percentages of creature there, but yeah, sure. I think he meant to say 80, like 30. And then Ryan Walters, this question. I don't think so. I think that they legit make new ones on the outside.
Yeah, for a while we were thinking that the upgraded Valkylander was some sort of merger between this thing and the Valkylander, because when we initially saw it, it was they were showing it being all blue and stuff, which was very similar to the color of the new Valkylander.
Yeah.
But now we get shots of it. It's nowhere close to the right color scheme.
Yeah, it's not all black. However, there's nothing saying that he wouldn't redeco the Valkylander after meeting Kurodorn. Yeah, that is probably Doron. You know, Kurodorn.
Do you think we'll get a kit of this thing?
No, not even close.
I mean, depends on the people who designed the Pokapla on it.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think it's gonna. It depends on how much he matters. I don't know that they'd be willing to do that, but who knows? We're getting a brand new Fumina kit, so who knows? We might get a weird dragony creature. If we have more than one sacred beast, I could see them doing more of them. But I could also see him as a non-posable little thing that has to be completely painted. It's in our Final Battle 4-pack coming out. Maybe they'll be in a Sacred Beast color. I don't know anything about that. Sorry, that went the wrong way down my throat.
You're right.
Yes. Yeah.
There we go.
Yes. But we go to the outro, which is the first time we've seen a proper outro for the show. And we get some very interesting visuals, because it starts out on Hiruto walking through what looks kind of like a city in a way, made of runners, which I find really interesting.
Yeah.
That in fact is all like digital and stuff, but he's just walking along with the Twinkle, the Twinkle outro song that we get. But then like it's going along, and then for some reason we actually see several of his core changes, but from this point of view, it goes from I think it goes from Mercury to Jupiter, and then it bounces around a little bit. But what I find interesting, so if you look up at the top, it says PFF. I can't say it, XJ, I guess. Like, it's hard to say, or X7. That's the Core Gundam, but then like it goes PFF MS or MA later on. I don't have it on here, but whenever he switches out for the armor, the number actually changes as it goes. It's pretty cool, because when he does to Jupiter, it changes again. I didn't catch them all in there, but Also, this
I
goes
imagine
so
PS
quick.
stands for planet system because that's what they refer to it on the box.
It could, but I'm not sure. But I didn't catch all of them. It was really hard. Like, just go watch the sequence in slow mo. You'll see what I'm talking about. Yes, power walking. He's sulk walking is really what he's doing. That reminds me of when my runners get tangled. I hate that. I hate that when you're trying to pull runners and they're all tangled up. And then we get an interesting shot of Hiruto as an
I love
overlay,
these parts.
but it's over like the kind of Gundam basey area. You know, you see the apartments, the dock, and where he normally goes to do all the things. And you see through his outline there what looks to be Segri or Segri. Or it's kind of the place where he and Eve hung out, since he sort of had those memories while he was at Segri. So it's one or the two. It's kind of hard to
I
tell
think it's
exactly what they're
supposed to be
referencing.
Seguri because the place that he and Eve were hanging out was all blue.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that, well, given the rest of the visuals, like going to her, it's all things directly related to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the hill, it's the sundown, but then it's also the battle scene where he kind of quote unquote lost her, you know, when she saw the bad side of him. So that's why I think that it's actually more related to where they were versus specifically Seguri. Because this seems like a memory thing. Like, so that's where I say that I don't think it's Seguri. It's just those two places were so similar that he made that connection. But then we get this image, which is interesting. So for no reason other than selling more Haropla, we get a random image of some Haros, which is interesting. And I'll get back to it here in a second because we get more of them. But then we get, oh, well, I guess I skipped it, but there's another image in between. I didn't actually take that shot. Where is that? Oh, it's Hiruto moving through space, and then he smiles. That's what it is. And then we get the next scene of the Haros. Now, it took me a minute. So when I first saw this the other day when we were talking about it, because I don't think you caught it at first that the Haros were even anything different. But like, I'm like, okay, they're showing these Haros for a reason. What the hell are they? And then to me, I was like, okay, Haros represent people signing in to GBN as a guest account. So at first I was thinking, wait a minute, are we seeing new characters that'll log in as a guest? I'm like, what? Okay. And then I see the one that's here off to the left, and that's definitely Freddy's colors. So like, what? Does this mean that Freddy's going to come into GBN? And it wasn't until I was making notes, and I was this time around, because I'm really going deep dive on the episode, that I look at it. And this one was the one that gave it away to me. It's just representative of their outfits.
Yeah.
It's just the Build Divers represented in Haro form. So you get Par's colors in the green and the blue. You get Hiruto in the tan over tan with the black and the white. And then you get Kazumi. And actually, if you look close, the detail colors are actually correct too. So the yellow inside the Haro arms are yellow, or the areas under the armpits are yellow. The eyes are also yellow, which is a cool detail. And then this is May and Freddie, but Hiruto stays the same in between. But actually, if you look at the one that represents May, it's the teal color up under her arms and for the eyes. So it's really interesting colors that they went for that. Now, Freddie, I wish they had done like the colors of his hat or something.
Yeah.
Milag Temple looks like Abawaku, maybe. But either way, what I thought was interesting is that they showed 6 Haros instead of just putting all 5 on the screen at once. So part of me makes me think that we're going to pick up a 6th member that's going to replace one of the Hirutos, since we've sort of said that perhaps Shido will change sides. So hopefully, while they still have this outro, we might see a change. Because I don't think that they would purposely show double Hirutos for that reason. But either way, that was just something I caught. It's like it had to be important because it hangs on the screen long enough for you to catch it. Oh, I didn't I didn't take a screenshot of the next part, but actually it passes through more of Hiruto running. Why didn't I get a picture of that? But what's interesting is that it's trees now. Like, so it changed from what looked like cities, the runners look like trees, which is also a pun. It's a visible pun. And you noted that. So they're actually representing trees, and they are green, which I thought was cool. But one thing you catch as he's doing these scenes moving through runners, it starts out like middle of the night and then goes to sunrise eventually. So like it's Hiruto moving out of the darkness and towards the light. And then the trees change 3 times throughout it, which is actually pretty cool.
And I want to say there's one point where you see like there's like a part where like either parts of the runners are overlapping or it makes like a hole or something like that, and the camera goes through it.
Yeah, it does. That's a really cool shot. Now, one thing that's interesting, right after that section with the last runners, we see Eve, and she's got her arms out, and then she pulls it in like to her heart. And it's the exact same motion that the outline is doing prior to that. So it's actually just like a cutout. And then it goes to Hiruto looking down at his hand and then doing this number and then smiling. So the same motion it did before. So it's almost like remembering the things they've been together, or been through together, and then him sort of moving on, because after that he moves kind of into the daylight, and then it pans up through the stars into a single star going ding, like it does, which is probably Eldora in theory.
Most likely.
Oh, that's an interesting idea, that that new Haro loader thing that we're getting later on is kind of the same color as the Par Haro, and also gets cat ears.
Oh my God, you're right.
That's what they just pointed out. Let me go look at that. Oh, I have a message.
Also, I want that thing just because it's the Kitty Haro thing. Yeah. So part of me wants to see if you can put a mobile ball in it.
We can't put balls in everything, Thomas.
Watch me.
I'm not gonna say what I was thinking.
You know what? It was already sounding weird. I figured might as well keep going.
No, I was gonna make it weirder. I was gonna make it weirder, but it would have been kind of mean, so I'm not going to. Sorry, I just realized I could go to my own post where I was posting all those pictures the other day. I'm going to double check on that. It is. It is that Haro. It is the two-tone blue and green Haro with cat ears.
Maybe that's why I didn't think much of it before, because I want to say I saw that before I watched the episode. So seeing that Haro, I was like, oh yeah, it's just the Haro Pla that they're pushing.
Yeah. But it is. I didn't realize it was a keyboard Haro. It's not the old one, so they're going to keep pushing the new keyboard Haro Pla. Now on shelves. Tell your parents. Does the Sultan's pilot armor look like the Sacred Beast? No, it just looks like a knight. But either way, let's move on to the trailer for next time. We see Hiruto in the real world again, and he's talking to his ne'er-do-well father, who is usually off his mind trying to write something, but they're outside somewhere, obviously having a conversation. Now, I'm hoping this isn't a flashback and they do actually get out, which does seem to be the implication. So presumably they're going to talk their way through Quadron to get out, because we also get this scene, which is One Eye's attacking a village. But it's clearly the old ones, the normal ball types, which would probably imply that this is in the past when they first arrive. Because then we get the shot.
That is so epic.
Yeah. And actually, if you look at this, the one eyes are chained together. Like you get balls with eyes that are all linked together, almost like molecules. And he's
They
cut
are.
through them.
That's interesting.
Also, Calderon is glowing there. Just pointing out that he also has a glow. But I like that his wings are like ridiculous and like jet-like.
Yeah,
Super
like they're
sharp.
not like they're metal, not like feather.
Yeah. Well, also he's like in flight type mode here. So
It's a lot like oh shoot, what was it called in Digimon Tamers? There was the jet thing that like combined with Gallantmon Crimson mode.
that was it had a weird name. It wasn't even a Mon. It was
Yeah, because it was made by the humans. Some sort of like Viking name, if I remember correctly.
okay, so he says Corridor looks like the Core Flyer. No, it doesn't. He looks like the Eternal from Seed, but black. I want to look that up. He looks like the Eternal with a meteor unit. Grandi. That's what his name was. That was the name of the thing that they wrote on. Grandi.
And actually, he does look a lot like the
hold on.
the Core Flyer thing.
Oh, the actual Core Flyer of yeah, okay. Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of the Eternal. That's not how you spell Gundam. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. No, actually, it does kind of look like the Eternal. Except that one's pink. Because it's even got the white wings sticking out the side. See if I can find a good image of it. Nope, not that one. I'm trying to find an animated shot of it. I keep pulling up a model kit, sort of. Bring up the fucking image. It's like it's doing everything but pulling up what I want to see. So, like, and then you got the spots where the meteor units attach up front.
Huh.
See, like a white wing sticking out the side? At least that's what I think of. I never noticed it also has a Zaku head sticking out the top. That's weird. Named after Siegfried's horse. Okay. Anyway, so that's a really cool thing. So we see that he literally is working with Sid as he comes out. But obviously he's going to get very injured. I assume he'd get injured by Celsam, not by Tertium. I think the only thing that's going to be able to damage his wing to the point that he can't fly will be the Celsam. Do I have any more pictures? I might not. Was that the last one? Yeah, that was the last picture. Okay. Because I think the thing ends at that point. Oh, it doesn't end. I just didn't get pictures. Okay, so after that, we actually get a shot of Kazumi. And it looks like he might be talking to May, or that's just how they cut the pictures together. And then it goes to May and
Maggie.
When it does that zoom in, it's always trippy. G1 Cyclonus, maybe. Does anyone bet that Corridor becomes a core armor? I don't think so. Because none of them are black, and I figured that anything he would become would look like him, not just be
the closest we get is your Raven, but I'm fairly certain Hiruto had that because that was materializing next to him.
Actually, I don't know what we don't know what he was going in with. We never see it, like ever. Like we don't see what he's going in with. Now, presumably it's Raven because he's got the new Core Gundam, but then again, maybe he hasn't built Raven yet. We don't know that he has all of his armors built versus planned because he's obviously modified Mars. He's modified Venus a little bit with weapons and things along the way. And now that they know the threats are being stepped up, you know, he probably makes some modifications. He already boosted the power of the Core Gundam because he knew he's going to need something stronger. Because I think he thought Jupiter was the strongest armor at this point. So he might not have anything past this point yet. So we'll see what happens. I think that I don't think it'll become a weapon for them versus just another ally. Especially one that can give them a protected place to come in and out. Especially if it's a place that can move. Like imagine you can move your base and it's protected.
Yeah. Or at the very least, move them to where they need to be in order to fight the One Eyes.
Yeah, so to me, it's almost like, you know, having a new mobile command center, you know, and presumably because he already said that it had a sacred barrier, that perhaps Alus could not attack it or be able to disable defenses, or if this is somebody he definitely doesn't like, but maybe he just can't attack him. Maybe it's like something he can't get around his own programming. Because if we saw all the warnings and stuff, if you actually go look at all my translations from Alus's screens, he had to disable a lot of things, and a lot of things started going wrong when he attacked Seguri. So he's already going against a lot of the things he's supposed to do, especially considering he's a protection program. He's supposed to be protecting the planet, and he fired a giant weapon at the planet. So presumably there's got to be a punishment for that. My theory is that after Build Divers beat Alus, Quadron helps restore Eldora, and that could be ReRISE. Maybe. I mean, like, he's definitely going to have to do something, but if nothing else, he's a perfect knowledge base of what the hell's going on. He's going to be he'll be our info dump, because, like, unless he doesn't have memories of things past a certain point, or he was sleeping when things happened. But if he can give us real background on the creators, like obviously Moran has not been sharing any of the info that would have definitely been great, you know. But obviously he knows that one of the greatest weapons they have, or had rather, isn't wanting to help anymore. Like, why wouldn't he just take all of the resistance to this massively powerful dragon? He clearly said, look, I've already done the thing. I got really badly hurt by someone you told me was good. Yeah. Screw you, you know? But he's not really mad at Moran so much as just annoyed that he's helping again. You know? So, yeah, he's going to be an exposition dump. You think there'll be a bunch of Alus Core Gundam or just one? I think I'll just stick with the one Core Gundam and just change out armor because he's imitating Hiruto. Yeah. Who he perceives to be the greatest threat, Gunpla-wise. Like, he doesn't even consider the rest a threat at all. Now, if we get like an evil May version, that would be really weird. Like an evil May. That would be
cool if we got like an evil. We got like a twisted May, a twisted Justice Knight, a twisted Valkylander.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, we're just going evil doppelganger. But we've already got Seltsam. So the question is, really, is Seltsam an evil clone, or did he convert the actual thing? Because the other option is Tertium is outside of GBN.
Yeah, because we know the Gunpla still exists because it's still sitting in his windowsill.
There's nothing that says that someone else can't use that to come in and help. Right?
So, other than maybe societal norms that say you don't
use somebody else's
other people's Gunpla.
But what if somebody else logging in and joining them is what, and him seeing the Tertium versus the Seltsam might be the only thing. That'd be super cool. What if Hiruto logs in with the Tertium to challenge the Seltsam? And then you could even have Alus be like, that one has already been against me, it won't work. Because I have this one, you know? So that might be a thing, but we've already seen that he's rising up against Alus's control and taking down One Eyes that he's probably supposed to be working with. But I think the only reason he created the Core Gundam is because Seltsam went out of his control. Because why else, you know? He's like, you know what? I can control this one on my own and I don't have to worry about your piddly human brain getting in the way.
We also see that we also at least get the feeling that he is directly controlling the evil Core Gundam.
Yeah.
Unlike the other One Eyes that are we know have those little
Well, I
core
think
things
he's
in them.
no, I think it's just a hive mind situation. I think they're all connected and he controls all of them. He just is, even when he's controlling a million of them, it's literally like, kill those. And then they all just go to kill those,
Kill
But then
them a lot.
But then when you've got 3 over here, 3 over here, and they're just on patrol, they don't really need much else other than need to status alert, until something has to happen, and then he can literally program them with battle data from other battles that he's absorbed the knowledge of, right? So odds are a lot of their battling tactics aren't him literally straight up controlling it versus imitating what he's already seen other people do. Like he's attacking the way Hiruto would attack, literally using attacks from his own history.
Mm-hmm.
So if it gets to the point that Hiruto starts recognizing what he's going to do, and then you have to change things up. So we'll see what happens, at some point, he's going to be beyond his own capabilities of control. Like, I can't control this many units at once and then starts dumping out other things. But they're going to have to either destroy or reset Alus somehow. But if there aren't other sacred beasts, then we'll have to find a way to fight him, because the Gunpla aren't going to be enough if he's that strong, especially if he keeps upping his game, which we know he's going to do. So if we have other sacred beasts,
we've seen the future releases.
Yeah. So if there are other sacred beasts that are all potentially represented as an elemental of this world, but all are set to protect a certain thing, like clearly he's Korodon is meant to protect the skies. He can control the weather. He's in a floating fucking island,
Yeah.
Maybe there were other sacred beasts and Alus wiped them out because they got in his way, but he can't challenge this one because he's the only one strong enough, Yeah,
because the other temples were abandoned and destroyed with no shining sand.
Yeah. No, that makes sense, Hida. That's not really a spoiler. Within the series, you tell when he takes over. It goes from purple to red when he's controlling it. We already see that. But in the manual on the Alus Earth 3 model kit, there's sticker for Alus Core Gundam, and there's also Eldora Core Gundam. Maybe Eldora refers to the one that's not controlling him then, as Hida just said. Well, because the four-legged one, the four-legged one-eye we get is called the Eldora Brute, and he's not openly attacking that one. So at some point, it probably just has a program versus him stepping in directly to control it. So it's kind of like Ultron, from Age of Ultron, whichever one he's personally inhabiting, the eyes change color. So actually, he's very much like Ultron. His ideals are corrupt. He thinks he's actually protecting humanity by bringing it all under his control or wiping it all out. Damn it, they just ripped off Age of Ultron.
So now we need to know who Hank Pym is in this universe.
Who is Hank Pym in this aspect? Or Tony Stark, if you're like, who's the Tony Stark of this universe? If we're going with
I was introduced to Ultron through the comics, so
it's fine. It's one way or the other. But yeah, no, they also do that. Everybody's saying the same thing. So yes, you're all kind of on lag because they're all saying the same thing. But yeah, it makes sense that it would be that way. That it was definitely more red when he was actually directly controlling it versus telling you what to do. So we'll see what happens. But that also makes sense as to what happens to Seltsam or the pilot, because you see the eyes on his helmet glow or not glow, depending on which way he's. I think they screwed that up. I think they have it backwards. It seemed like when he was fighting, it would glow even brighter. So maybe it's backwards. But either way, this was a good episode. Next episode is going to be a lot of information dump versus rallying, because we have to do the upgrades. Everybody's got to get their upgrades. I mean, Valkylander doesn't change that much. You know, there's a lot of details, adding extra horns, bigger wings, changing the color, but overall, it's not a huge difference in the kit. Like you can look at it. Even uses the same Rex Buster, which is sold out everywhere, and I still want the Rex Buster. But of course, the Aegis Knight is totally different, you know.
Yeah.
But they also have less than 3 days to get out, either bring back in the Gunpla they had, or make new ones, one way or the other. Get back and either defend everybody at that broken down village or try to transport them. Transport's going to be hard without something to carry that many people in. But then again, we know that Aegis Knight has a flight mode, which is way bigger than the Core Gundam. So maybe they bring in enough big old flight types, they could haul a bunch of people around.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's coming in the next episode or two.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely want Masaki to join Hiruto to complete his Power Ranger members. Yeah. I mean, it'd be great. And we already know Celtam's, or rather, Tertium's getting weapon upgrades at some point. If you want to consider them upgrades, we don't know. Side grades? Add-on parts? Dinghy them ups?
Things that I wish it had beforehand.
Yeah. Did Alus beat his cyber wife? Only when he was drunk. It only happened once. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Different kind of demon in a bottle. Are you saying it's time for a montage? Yep. Gonna need a montage. Yeah, well, actually, they're not really keen on. Well, they've only done a couple of build montages, like as in Guan. It's mostly like Hiruto just kind of working on something. You never really see it, and then next we have new Gunpla. And I don't know if I'm a fan of not seeing them working on things the way that Build Fighters did.
It's like on one side we get to the action quicker, but on the other, you're losing that sort of connection to the whole build part of the title.
I like it when we get Hiruto get inspired. He's like, "Oh, I need a long-range, powerful weapon." You know. Mm-hmm. So if he goes, "Okay, well, we know what we're up against, sort of. I know I'm going to need some certain upgrades. We still need to find out why he's going to need a big-ass drill. Like, there's something to that. He's going to have to drill into something.
To pierce the heavens." And on that note, my wife is informing me that it's time for bed.
That's terrible. Am I going to try a Tertium arm, Tertium third times a charm? No. No, I will not. I don't know. I can't plan anymore. Like a lot of these, damn, you're late. Yeah, you're very late. You're literally here near the end. Wow. Alus is just a cyberbully. Literally. I want the plastic printer shown in Build Fighters ReRISE. We all want that runner printer.
Right?
Yeah. Some people are bitching that there's not enough build in ReRISE. I mean, oh, here's an interesting idea. Who built the Wodan pod?
Huh.
Also, is there a real Wodan pod? Because she doesn't log in the way anyone else does. So
I mean, she could.
It does. I bet there's no physical Gunpla built for it. I bet it's completely digital.
Huh.
Yeah, she doesn't have a real Wodan pod because she doesn't. She has the little thingy to log in. She doesn't have a physical Gunpla to scan.
Because when Sarah logs in, she stands on the platform for scanning the scanning the Gunpla. I was about to say GP base, but that's the wrong series.
Basically, what it is. But yeah, so how? Because we haven't seen her actually logged in anywhere. Presumably, she's doing it from Maggie's bar.
Yeah, because that's where her home is, basically.
That's home, so there's no reason to well, I mean, Nami's her handler, so taking her to the Gundam base wouldn't be that big a deal, except that they have to keep Eldivers
Or
mostly a secret.
Keiichi has
Yeah, Koichi has the thing, but there's almost no reason to go there if he doesn't have to. Odds are they built a thing at Maggie's bar for her to log into, and it's just a thing for her to stand on. But like, I bet there's no physical representation of the Wodan Pod.
I mean, we see her in the real world in the next episode, so there's a chance there to say if it exists or not. We'll see if that happens.
And the idea that that's kind of only there to disguise her Eldiverness.
Yeah.
Sort of. I don't know. That's a weird thing. Because it's also very much implied that she hasn't been out very much. Like, at all. She has no concept. She hasn't been around humans other than Maggie and those people very much. So she's learning about all these things about humanity from the divers as she goes. And she hasn't had a whole lot of battle experience, but she's a badass. Because she even says she hasn't been in any big battles. So, like, she's new to GBN, sort of. With the exception of being born there. So where did I want to know now? I want to know. I want to see if the Wodan Pod is actually exists in universe, or if it's a digital cover. Shut up. And there's no Bear Guy 2 for that matter. Yeah. IMA's Brothers one building the Eldivers body, so maybe you built it. No, but my point is that there never was a real body for it. Like, the Wodan Pod doesn't exist. Like, they just created it as a digital shell when she logs in, because she doesn't need it. You think she's standing on... I mean, she could be standing on the pod next to it, in theory. But also her diver body, or her doll body, rather, is inside the thing. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just a shell. But it does things. We'll see. That's an interesting idea. Just had that. So, hold on. Just a Twitter news after episode 19. Every episode is getting postponed. Is that as far as they got?
It's possible. Anime tends to operate under pretty short deadlines.
Yeah. That'll suck.
There's talk about that with Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. They may not necessarily finish.
But those are live action series where people have to be on set and stuff. This is people on sound booths and people who could do their work from a computer
Still got to
by
do
themselves.
the animation.
Yeah, but you don't have to sit next to 15 people to do that.
But the way they do animation, yes, they do.
Well, they could fix it. Either way. But yeah, no, that'll suck if there's actually delays. I'll have to look at the Twitter and find that out. Because that means this review series is going to go long. It's like we're already seeing how far it had to go.
We'll have to find something else.
Or take a break. Since we haven't taken one since we started doing this. At least not a real one. I just want to check that real quick and then we'll go. Okay. Let everybody else know what's going on your channel this week since you brought it up before.
Okay. So Monday I should have my the third part of my custom progress videos for my MS100 entry. It's a bit of a quick video. And then Friday we will have the 10th anniversary version of Rat Trap up for Beast Wars Backtrack.
Yes. And yeah, there I'm looking at the news right there. It says, affected by the spread of the new coronavirus infection, we decided to postpone the distribution and broadcasting after the 19th episode. Regarding resumption of distribution and broadcasting, we'll announce it once it's decided. So, I mean, we've got 3 more episodes. Yeah, 3 more episodes. So 3 weeks at least before they know.
Oh, boy.
Great. Grawny. So we're still getting answers to something way back when, which means somebody isn't caught up on the stream. It's all good. Might have a whole season of Japanese Spider-Man with mech battles, even though they had Leopardon suits stolen after they filmed episode 1. I'm sure they could work from home for a bit. Either way, doesn't matter. Okay, guys, so Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. We didn't hit our numbers from last week, but it was okay. We still were in the 20s the whole time. So, yay. We also haven't gone as late as we did last week. But guys, of course, do the subscribe thing. Subscribe to him. Link down below. If you have not, go watch all his stuff. He needs to get his numbers up, and there's a whole lot of you that watch this series. And if nothing else, go rewatch the other ones. Just lots and lots of rewatches, guys. So need some money. Apparently, right now, YouTubers are not getting a whole lot of revenue, despite the fact that there are more and more people watching than ever in history. Ad revenue is down. So you do the math on that one and figure it out. We all need some help here. But of course, check out tomorrow. We'll have Master Grade Monday returns with an unboxing because you guys love it when I pull runners out of boxes. And other stuff is coming up on the channel, including some transforming box creatures and then a model kit that I was not very happy to actually have done. So you guys love it when I hate things, so make sure you stick around for Friday. We'll catch you on the next one. Remember, as always, to keep on nerding, to keep on building, and let's keep building this community together.
And I'll see you the next time you invade my shelf space.
Indeed. Good night, guys.
Good night.